Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and you're very welcome to episode number 15 of The Hope Show. And I'm not going to even let this guy hang around the background. I'm going to bring him in straight away.
Hello.
Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir? Thank you for having me on this beautiful Monday.
No problem, man. Thank you for agreeing to come on. I'm actually, I want to talk to you about a bunch of things. We're going to chat about the Doc Ock. I want to ask
Oh
you
yeah.
maybe a bit about your photography, get your take on Ahsoka. Want to recognize you were the first man to ever drop a super chat of any shape or description on this channel, so thank you very much.
Happy
So,
to do so, man. You deserve it. You definitely put in the work. So
man, I do
it's
appreciate
going to
it.
a good place.
Doesn't seem like work though. I gotta say, it doesn't
No,
seem
yeah.
like work.
That's the
It's
goal. That's the
yeah,
goal in
yeah.
life. If you're not work, well, if you love what you
Absolutely,
do,
yeah.
you never work a day in your life.
No, I've always been a fan of that phrase. No, actually, I think the second this thing feels like work, um, I'll stop.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
you're out.
Like I remember like when I was growing up. This is a bit random now, but like one of my mates, like this is a group of friends we were hanging around when we were kids. Like he was just saying that one of his friends um got a girlfriend and then they didn't see him for like months.
Hmm.
He'd gone into a thing called hyper dating, so it's like hibernating but hyper dating.
For
And they
sure.
said they had to pull him up and had to chat to him. And what they said is like, look, we were here before your girlfriend, and we will be here long after she's gone. That's the way they put it across. And, you need to make sure that you're spending time with us and stuff like that. And I thought it was a funny
For
way of
sure.
putting it across. That's the way I feel about like collecting. Like I was a collector first before a YouTuber and content
Mhm.
creator, and my collecting will outlive my content creation, if that makes sense.
Oh
Like
yeah, for
so
sure. Yeah, like
yeah.
even with me, like whenever I get in a new figure, I feel like I'm gonna take photos of it, but then usually like a month goes by and I'm just enjoying the figure, so I'm not necessarily like buying to create content. I'm just enjoying the figure as it comes in, and if I want to take a photo of it, I will at some point. But like that's not
Mm.
the focus of my
That's the best way. That's the best way, though.
yeah.
Like it's like buying to review things. That seems like a lot of work. Like a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
don't
work.
want to do that.
I mean, I don't got the money to do that, and
Exactly.
yeah, like I suppose the flip side then is that like typically all my reviews are very like I really really love this figure. You know what I mean? But I'll call it like I see it as well. Like, but yeah,
Exactly.
that's the way it is. Like, but yeah, the Doc Ock is going to be one which I'm going to have to call as I see it. Like,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
yeah,
I'm excited to talk
yeah,
about that one. That is
yeah. But you know what? Like I'm in a group chat with we call them the Dark Knight buddies, the Bargain Bin Bros. So like Joao and Calvin and Dilo and Graham from Jedi Knights Watch and Ben and Marco from 166, and like first of all when I saw these images I was like, oh god, they didn't really fix that sculpt. And then when I took a better look at it from the video I just uploaded, I was like, okay, it's a little bit better than the prototype, but it's definitely not as good as I thought it would be. But look, we're going to
Right.
get into it. I'm going to address the chat really
For sure.
quickly and then go through some housekeeping. If you're just joining us, you're watching episode number 15 of The Hope Show. If you haven't done so already, make sure you seek out and find Brandon Salad on Instagram and follow his amazing photography. And if you're enjoying this type of content, please go ahead and click that like and subscribe. Right, so let's address the chat before we do anything. We got a Michael, the 12-inch Moose Stream channel member. Hello, community of collectors. Your mission is to pound the like button. Absolutely. Thank you very much. We got Mike in the building with the exclamation marks chiming in to give the support. I do appreciate that. We got Encarta Reviews. Encarta Reviews is like everywhere these days. Everywhere. Right. So do appreciate the support. We got Peyton23, channel member. Great to see you here. Mike, who should be joining us later on. We got Brandon Salad, who is here,
Oh,
and also a channel member. I do appreciate that. Ryan Smith as well. I love the way that the channel members like just come out to support. It's fantastic. Calvin, low key collector. I
Calvin.
did send him the link. He may join us later, possibly. I'm pretty sure he dropped the link into Dark Knight Buddies. We got Andre. Brandon rocking the highest end camera quality I've ever seen. Absolutely,
yeah.
it is fresh.
I'm kind of just a stickler for just having the best picture I can, so I just try and go for that. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. You're dead right. That's why your photography is so good. What
Thank
do you the camera you're using now to stream, is that the camera that you use to shoot?
It is, yeah. Surprisingly, I didn't think it would work as well as it does. Like when I was on LWO like a few weeks ago, was when I kind of trial run it, and it worked pretty well. I just connect it via like a micro USB to my PC, and with Sony has their own like software where you could just connect it to your camera, and it's fairly simple. Yeah, you just got to make sure
it's SLR that doubles as a streaming.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out pretty well. But you also got to make sure your lens is crisp enough, because like there's some like lenses that come with your camera like right out of the box. Like they're called kit lenses. They're not as sharp. But if
18 to 55s.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But if you invest in a decently quality type lens, then yeah, you should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Jer Bear Man Cave says we can see the computer screen is glass. That's when you know you're dealing with some sharp stuff. I'm actually like I got a when I do photography, which I've been slipping recently. I use a Canon. It's I can't even remember the name of it, to be honest. I think you call it the Rebel T1 or something like that. Anyway, there's a different name over here, but like it's kind of like an entry level Canon. But I did. It's called, I think it's called the Nifty 50 or something like that I bought. It's a Canon lens, a tiny little pancake lens. Yeah. There's no like zoom function on it. It's kind of for like a prime macro lens. Photography. So good, man. So good. I love it. I like to get close. I really prefer that than zooming. I feel like just to get close right up to the figure. Yeah. But yeah, it's my go-to lens. Even like if I'm doing like a review, like the on-camera intro and outro, or if I'm doing like Shit Collector Say or something like that, it's noticeably higher quality. But that's because I'm using that lens, like, you know. So yeah. But nice. Yeah, I want to upgrade my streaming stuff though, because I really like Dan 6Scale reviews when he's on camera. He's got a nice sharp image as well, and he said it was a Sony that he uses, and it's like pretty much plug and play, and it's reasonably priced. So I think that's what it might be. Might I go for that, you know? But yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can get cameras for well, especially like the older model Sony. Like my camera is kind of old, but you can get it probably for a decent price. The Sony A6000 series, those are those can go for a good price. Cool, and definitely, it's definitely something. There's two things I want to upgrade. I want to get a decent chair for streaming. I'm going to. It's just a question of when, and then after that, I'll be looking to upgrade the camera. So really quickly, I'm just going to do some basic housekeeping, and then we'll get this show on the road. This will not take long. Thanks to Ian, Ancient Silver Fox. He won't be joining us today, but he has donated to the channel a brand new inbox Civil War Winter Soldier, and when we hit 3K, we're going to give it away, so stay tuned to that. We will let you know. You'll have to be live, you'll have to be subscribed, and we're going to ask a question to be quickest off the mark. And Ian said he's going to pay to ship it to you, which is pretty damn cool. Right, shout out to the members. We got the Troopers. We got a brand new member here in the Troopers category at Jim Collector. We've got Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Neil Horrific, Mugwump, Stephen Rinks. We got Mike, who might join us later on, Payton23, Chuli, Bendu Windu, Ryan Smith, who's in the building, Tragedy Tales, Alan, the 6Scale Gallery, X-Man Supreme, 12-inch Moose Stream, Philip the Fool, Keith, the 6Scale Padawan, Mark Mitchell, William Owens, Brandon Salad, who was here on the panel. Thank you very much. Phil, who should be joining us later on, Collecting Weekly, Bubba Fettuccini. So we got 22, we got 10 troopers, 12 commanders. If you're interested in joining and supporting the channel, there is a chat pinned to the comment section there. New videos on the channel, fusion reactors. If you're curious, check out this video. It explains pretty much what they look like, how to connect them, what they look like. That image there of the Battle Damage Mark 85, that's just a picture that I took with my phone and converted with a PNG. That's literally how it looks like in my setup now. Nice. I gotta say, man, I love the figure. I love that head sculpt, but I gotta say that the fusion just set it up, just lighten them up. Praetorians, yeah, just my thoughts on them. This video went live yesterday. My thought on that new FET. INART, Gandalf, and Pennywise. You're going to catch some of that live now. Is this a disaster or is it acceptable? We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to give our thoughts on Kate Bishop. But all of them, they're live on the channel now if you want more individualized thoughts. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about if anyone got anything new or sold anything. We're going to touch on Pennywise, Kate Bishop, Doc Ock, Ahsoka Episode 3, and then we're going to talk about community spirit, because over the last few years being part of this community, I've noticed some amazing acts of generosity, and yeah, we're going to focus on them. Okay, so we got Alan in the chat as well. Brandon Salad, looking forward to the stream, boys.
Oh, man.
We got Chris Letty, always enjoy these chats. Thank you very much, appreciate that. And who else we got? What figure could they do that you could not resist to purchase even if it was overpriced? A die-cast T800 endoskeleton from Terminator 1 or 2. Yeah.
Nice.
Yourself, Brandon?
I'd have to think about that. I would probably think some sort of Spider-Man figure because I'm gung-ho on anything Spidey. I'd have to think about that for a moment. I'm trying to think of things that haven't been released that I'm curious about. It's still kind of... Oh, what's up?
Did you know the price, that really good Final Swing one?
Oh.
Like that's probably one, if the price was a little higher, people would still partake, you know?
It's hard to say if that would hit like the 400 range, if I'd be okay with it, but I'd probably find a way.
Yeah. It's funny how
cool.
our rules go out the window in certain cases, like.
Yeah.
So it'd be a Spider-Man of some sort.
Yeah, Spider-Man of some sort. Like, I would assume like Toby could be, but he's already out, so thank God.
Yeah, that as in like, or they're already, they put him up for pre-order and stuff like that. And soon, I'd imagine he'd be up soon.
Soon. I would assume he would drop in the next 2-3 months, hopefully, praying. But who knows? We never know. With Hot Toys, they could drop it next year. Easy.
Hot Toys logic.
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll start off with let's start off with this man. Look what we got. Oh, this is a pretty panel today. How you doing, Chris?
Sneaking in.
Yeah. Sneaking in.
No.
Yeah, I've got some work to do in the collection room.
Good.
Yeah, good stuff. Have you met Brandon before?
I have not. I mean, I've seen him in the chats and on your channel and stuff like that before. But nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Chris.
Good stuff. We had a question thrown at us there. It was what figure would you buy, and like you'd be willing to push the boat out if it was a bit overpriced. So is there a...
Man, I like both of your choices and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with those. I mean, probably for me is it's going to be probably one of the Harleys from Suicide Squad 2.
Oh,
probably.
I would love that too.
Her the leather suit with the black and red and her bazooka and all that stuff.
Totally.
Something like, if INART makes something like that, I'm jumping.
I'd be all in on that too.
INART, man. Do you know it's funny. It's kind of like the thing, isn't it? Like, I'm gonna wait for INART to do it. Do you know? But they do DC stuff, so I mean, they do make DC stuff, so that could be reality, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a possibility, but I'm not holding my breath. So I'll probably have to go custom route if I want to do something that way.
Yeah, I gotcha. So like, we're just start off the show. Like, if anyone did anyone sell anything this week or get anything in this week? Any of you boys?
Yeah. I actually sold and bought stuff this week.
Oh, interesting. Good.
Yeah,
good stuff.
I'm kind of at the point in my collection where I'm really trying to hone in like which lanes I want to stay on, because my displays are getting too big, and I'm like, I don't want to have that many figures. Just
all of this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
All of this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And you're speaking to like the king of downsizing here. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like we had a Chris on episode of Visions there, and I think at one point he had over 100 figures and dropped it down to 20. That was some cull.
Wow.
Yeah. It's gone up a little bit, but not too much.
You've learned lessons from the past, have you?
Going through the paces and getting caught up in that whole collector mentality and wanting to try to expand every line that you're into. And it's really important to dial things in. I think it's healthy. And I've, collecting in moderation and quality over quantity. Those are some of the things that I'm focusing on now. But I mean, it looks so cool when you got tons of stuff all set up. So it's tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does. It
it's
does.
tough.
Definitely does. So, Brandon, what did you get in or get rid of?
Yeah, so I got Andrew, Spider-Man, in earlier this week. It's funny. For a long time I was hesitant on getting him, just because from the reviews, from the photos, the production photos, like it just didn't seem like that much of a difference, I guess, from the original. But I love Andrew's portrayal of Spider-Man a lot. I was like, I have to have him, and I want to have the trio. That would just be such a cool display, such a cool photography wise, what I could do with that. But once I got him in, I was just like, he just worked. Like his the suit material is awesome itself. Like it has the raised webbing, so it's very realistic. And for me, I'm very adamant about like my figures being as realistic as they can, because that's why I got into this hobby in the first place. But like having him in hand, feeling the body, like he's very sturdy. I like my figures to have a real sturdy feel to it, and he's great. Also got Black Panther, the 2.0 in, another 2.0. This is like the 2.0 week. Got the new Black Panther in, and his proportions are phenomenal. The suit material is phenomenal. Just the way light reflects, it's like very like speckledy, but it looks super cool. So that was great. And then I sold actually So Toys Invincible.
Oh right,
Yeah. So like I love the Invincible show so much, but it's just that figure didn't fit my collection at all, and it was like it didn't look good in comparison with everything that I have. So it just didn't work. But
gotcha. Good
yeah.
week though. There's some really good pieces you got in.
For sure.
Phil, we were just starting off the show, just discussing maybe like if there's anything that you got in or anything you got rid of over the week.
Not getting anything in by the look of it.
Right? You haven't got anything in?
Not through TW. Not by the looks of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the talk of the town. Yeah. I saw that. All right. It's I suppose it's hard to avoid news like that in the 1/6 scale community, but hopefully you'll get sorted ending. So, were you waiting on something at the moment from them?
They emailed me on the weekend to say the speeder bike was actually on its way.
Okay, good
But
stuff.
we'll see. The tracking still hasn't updated yet, but they did say 72 hours, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm waiting on the new Boba. But
Nice, yeah.
I've had
The
nothing.
Boba Fett one?
Yeah. I've had no notification from TW on that one yet. At the moment, I don't really know what to do. I don't know whether to start slamming in PayPal claims for it or hold on.
I'd imagine this week is going to be carnage for them.
Yeah. I don't want to panic, and I don't want other collectors to panic, because as soon as people start withdrawing orders and POs and claiming left, right, and centre, then TW will be in trouble, and we'll all end up losing out. So I'd rather stick with it. At the end of the day, yes, Justin's pulled the plug, maybe rightly so, but at the end of the day, they've got other customers. They've got other customers as well, haven't they?
Yeah, like I mean, he was obviously, he's got like 600 and something thousand subscribers. He's massive advertising for him. He would have helped him grow the company. One thing I will say on that, like I don't want to delve too deep into it, but like I've had my issues with them in the past, and my issues are with the company, not with the man himself. Do you know? I met Justin briefly at Star Wars Celebration. I spoke to him very briefly, and I just said, hi, I'm a subscriber. I've watched your content, and I said, you've saved me a lot of money over the years. And he kind of looked at me and he went, that is like the opposite to what I usually get. And I said, no, I'll tell you why, because like a lot of the time I'll be on the fence about something, and I'll wait to see how the head sculpt turns out or the articulation or whatever. And a lot of times then I hold off and I don't pre-order those figures that I'm on the fence about, and I watch his videos and I watch everyone else's videos. And a lot of times I see it and I'm like, that's not for me. For example, the Black Widow from the Black Widow solo movie. But he kind of said like that's definitely the opposite of what people usually say to him. But that's just the way I feel about it. I feel like I bought them in the past. I'd done my own research. Justin didn't make me buy from them. I made up my own decisions and I took the risk myself. That was between me and TW. Yeah, he does promote them. Yes, I did hear of them through them. I actually heard a lot more about them from people bitching and moaning on Facebook groups, which is the ironic thing. But yeah, I used to use them, and then they kind of crossed the line once or twice. I was like, right, I'm not going to use them anymore, and I went elsewhere. But with that, even though he's their biggest advertising, they're still a company, and just like you said, they have other customers. So I'd imagine this week emailing them, the responses will be quite slow because they're probably inundated with people pulling the plug because, all right, Justin's out. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Again, that's not what I'm saying or whatever. I'm just saying I'm hearing people saying things like that. They're going under. He's coming out. They're going to go under. But I think they sell a lot to Asia and they sell a lot to Europe, and there's definitely Americans who still buy from them. Like so, I don't know. Should people be worried?
Yeah.
Chris is like, yeah.
No, I mean,
yeah.
I've never done business with them, and it's not. I mean, I don't really. I say I'm pretty neutral in this game, as far as all this, banter and news that's coming out. I just say, I always say, do your due diligence and make sure you're making the right decision for you. Hopefully, everything gets resolved. And I mean, I hope that they don't go under. I mean, I don't want to see businesses, go, shut the doors, because one, person, that kind of is not necessarily a direct front man, but a front man in a sense, kind of pulls out. But, it's just one of those things where, I hope everybody gets all their situations resolved. If they are going out of business, it would be really sad and unfortunate for all the collectors, that have skin in the game at this point. So I just, I don't know. I know it's kind of a
you don't want to see. No one wants to see any of our friends or collecting colleagues, whatever you want to call them, people, community members. Out of pocket or anything like that. That's definitely what we don't want to see that. But look, it's I don't know. Does anyone have anything to add? Because I don't want to spend the stream talking about it. But maybe if you just put in your, does anyone want to say anything else before we move on?
I mean, it's definitely an unfortunate thing. I had a thought. I forgot what I was gonna say. That was like, hopefully this is a big slap in the face to them and they kind of realize what's going on, and they can kick it in gear for the future, and they could just think about the past and move forward, and hopefully everyone gets their stuff and everything works out. Yeah,
that's fair enough. If you're just joining us there, Phil just mentioned that I asked him did he get anything in, and he was saying that he's currently waiting on pieces from Toys Wonderland, and obviously because of the news in the last few hours, we're just really quickly just getting an input on that before we move on for the rest of the stream. But do you have something else to add, Phil, before Lael goes?
No, as I say, I'll get in touch with regards to some of the orders that I do within the next couple of weeks, but I don't want to hit the panic button yet. But we'll see. See.
Yeah, because people are obviously starting to speculate that they're going out of business, stuff like that. But to be honest, I've heard people speculate about that for years. So I don't know. Look, he's obviously gone a separate way because that's the right decision for him. And then the company just have to, I suppose, try and get on as normal. I don't know. Lael, do you have anything to add or?
Not really, bro, because it's just like reverberage from what everybody else is actually saying. Everything's regurgitated at this point. You never want to see anybody or any company fail. You know what I mean? Especially if they started out well. When they started out, there were no complaints. Toys Wonderland delivered. Their response time was pretty good, but I guess once they bit off more than what they could chew, these are the subtle results that we're actually seeing right now. Justin had to make a decision that was best for him and his brand, and I think he made that decision. It was a tough decision, but at the same time, I think it's less headache for him. And to me, I think his integrity was always there. It's just that he got a bad rap because of his association with them. Now it's a space where you can, reestablish yourself, like not rebrand yourself, but just kind of, set yourself apart and aside from all the drama. And again, like I said, I hope with Phil and Toys Wonderland over there, they can learn from it, learn from these mistakes. But the thing is, it's like, how much more can you learn after how many years? And they've gone through like 2 years worth of scrutiny, longer probably, because of foul practices and, business ethics. So it's like, again, like hopefully they'll learn from it. But I don't want to be the one thing I said, and I was, even on the corner earlier today, was I said that I was not going to be one of those, YouTubers and content creators that's going to put Toys Wonderland on my thumbnail and bash them and start, because I don't want to start that trend. That to me, again, it's sort of like baiting in a sense. That's what it feels like you're baiting people to come in, and that they want to hear you talk about that. And like we talked about yesterday, bro, like it's too much negative already that's going on right now.
If I had done that, I guarantee there'd be 100 people in here.
Bro, like literally, like it would have been, and probably more, because again, we know that sometimes people want to hear that level of controversy, and less about the actual art. So that's why I even told people I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to go deep into it. I'm not going to bash anyone. I just wish both sides luck on their ventures. Hopefully Toys Wonderland learns from this. They can move forward, hopefully reestablish themselves, get their shipping in order, their refund status in order, whatever situations they need to resolve. I hope they can get that taken care of as a business. Justin, he's fine. He's going to be fine. And again, he's already established himself. And based on the YouTube or the video that or the live stream he did yesterday, there was some positive responses. And I just hope that people can give him that level of grace going forward. But that's it. That's all I have to say, man. I'm just so glad to see Empire Strikes. I'm so glad to see Brendan Salad, man. Like, these are the cats that I see in the chat, so I want to stream with them.
And we got a full schedule here as well.
Chris, what's going on, Chris?
What's up, man? About, so. First time meeting you on live stream.
Yeah, man. I'm Shane. It was crazy, like, because they watch us, right? And they don't understand, like, sometimes we're just as starstruck to meet them because we see them in the chat all the time. You know what I mean? So, like, when we see them in the chat, like, we can't wait to meet them. So that's what's up, man. So awesome. Glad to meet you guys. Yeah.
So, it's Chris. Be cool. Be cool.
Yeah,
right. Just waiting for a mate. Yeah. Look. So we've addressed it. We've acknowledged the elephant in the room, and we're just going to move on now. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I will say that, like, I mean, I remember, like, having a few speed bumps with TW before he stopped buying off them. I never once blamed it on Justin, though, because maybe that's because, like, I'm into crypto, and there's so many dodgy kind of cryptos out there that you really got to do your own research. You really got to do your own research, or you will get screwed hard, So I'm so used to, like, okay, I might have heard about the company through Justin, but I did my own research, and I used my own credit card that, I got from my own job. Like, it's like no one made me do that. That was a choice I made. So then when shit hits the fan, I go to them. I don't go to the person. I will finish on this, though. It's a catch-22. Because the same people are saying he should cut all ties with Toys Wonderland, and now that he has done, will say, he's only doing this because yada yada. You're going to hear that narrative. It'll be like
both ways.
He's damned if he does, he's damned if the poor guy.
The end if he
He
does a
gave into
double-edged
them,
sword.
you know,
Yep.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And so now it's like, you know,
Or maybe
it's-
he only cut ties with a man because they're about to go belly up.
yeah,
dude.
like it's
You know,
it's
stuff
it's
like
it's,
that.
it's a
Yeah,
complete
yeah.
catch-22. Unfortunately, he's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. Like, you know, so
Yeah.
we got another one, man. If we had TC inside here, the place would just explode. You know, we got Brian Fontaine.
What's up, bro?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
get a crew
What's
together.
up, Brian?
Yeah, yeah.
How you doing, man?
TC's gonna catch this on the replay tomorrow morning, eating his cornflakes, going, God damn it! You know?
I know.
I missed the invite. What's going on, guys?
How you doing, man?
Yeah,
What's up, bud?
we're just done addressing elephants in the rooms, and now we're going to talk some art. Are you
Okay,
open to
yes.
talking some
I
art?
wouldn't add anything to that.
Hey, but Shane, before you go,
Yeah.
like, how come Brandon's your screen, bro? What's going on with this, bro? Why you look so super clean, bro?
I know,
What's
Doug
up?
doing us all.
Yeah, man. Like, what's up with that,
It's just
bro?
my camera, man. I don't know. It's my lens.
I feel like he's going to break the
Good
fourth
lens.
wall and crawl out of my laptop or something.
Yeah,
you know
bro,
what I mean? Like, yeah.
And I'm looking nice and pasty. So
Yeah. Hey man, there's an Irish person here. Like, come on, if anyone's pasty, I'm pasty.
Hey,
Right,
I'm
so-
almost as Irish as you are. So,
I'm telling you, I'll take it, man. We got to get you over here to drink some Guinness.
right.
Really quickly, we were kind of. I'll just show you my new in, and then whoever else wants to go. I didn't sell anything or anything this week, but I picked up this, man. I'm absolutely in love with it. So TC was telling me the artist's name is Tyler Stout. He does these like, you know, movies reimagined, and it's just like they were selling these at DCC, Dublin Comic Con, but they were like small A4 ones, and I want to get a bigger one. I think this is the A2 or something like that. But I just got it framed up, and I gotta say, it just adds so much more to the room. I really like it. So that was my new in. Delighted with that. Yeah. So I did. I think Lael, did you pick up any this week or get rid of anything? You did say you don't really sell, but did you say you got some rid of some pieces lately? Or?
Well, no. So what I did was I didn't really get rid of anything. I just cut ties with a whole bunch of pre-orders. Like I had some pre-orders there, and I kind of had to refine, bro, because I'm looking at where my focus, pun intended, is. You know what I mean? So definitely, it's you know I'm Star Wars focused right now. Like that's basically where I'm at. Marvel, again, like I said, I collect Marvel comics as far as figures. It's just I don't want to get wrapped up into just the likeness of a character, because that's pretty much like, you know, that's normally the discussion. Like when you're getting figures, it's like, oh, but is the likeness on point? And I'm like, well, you know what I mean? I try to associate the characters with comics rather than what we actually see in, you know, in the cinematic universe, because we know like they're struggling there. But you know what I mean? For me lately, what I think the last thing I picked up, or the last thing that came in by mail, that is, was I think, and it's hard to say because if I showed y'all how many boxes are sitting over there, man, it's crazy. Like stuff that, and y'all go through it too. Don't act like y'all don't. When you get boxes in, you don't go through them. It takes you so long.
Behind this door right here, my other unfinished basement, there's a lot of boxes sitting right there.
Right, bro. Like straight up, man. There's a whole bunch of boxes that I haven't gone through yet. But I think the last one that I picked, the last two figures that I got was the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, and the Black Panther figure. That was the last two that I have. I think the next one on the way is that Boba Fett. And I think I got a notification about the classic Loki, I think. The classic suit Loki, but I think I'm avoiding that one because I just kind of have to pump the brakes on a lot of stuff. So I think I canceled like almost 20.
Lael got tapped in the shoulder by the space monster.
Yeah, don't do that, bro. Like, so straight up, I think that was the last two, was Andrew Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man, and the new Black Panther, because I had to get that. That was a no-brainer.
Good stuff. Now, Brian, I was in the gym last weekend, and I was training legs, and I was tired, and I had to sit down in between sets. And it wasn't because of the legs or the training. It was because I was listening to the 6-Scale Scavengers on the replay, and I heard your collection update, and I had to sit down. I swear to God, I nearly passed out. So like that's a serious pre-order list. I'm wondering, did you get anything in hand during the week, or did you sell anything during the week?
Yeah,
Because
so
that's going to be some delivery.
yeah, well, actually, like Lael, I actually had I had axed a few lately too, just because I went like so. I was just like, I got to get back in, and then I wasn't really thinking about like displays and shelf and stuff. So I actually axed a couple I can't talk today. So you'd think it'd be the end of the night here in the East Coast pre-orders. Just figuring out, got a couple that I'm selling on eBay right now, but I did get the rooted 2-pack Joker from INART in. I have yet to crack the seal on it because I'm going to be redoing, I'm getting some more Modja cases. I'm going to flip what wall they're on. So I don't want to like, even though it's probably 3 months away, this is just the way that I work. Like, I don't want to like put something on display, have to like rebox everything to move all the cases. I might just hold off and then do it eventually once that's all there. Because I don't want to just...
Word of advice, Brian, sorry to interrupt you. It's worth having a peek at the head sculpts and seeing if, number one, they're both different. Number two, that they're both actually attached to that little peg on the bottom of the cylinder, so they haven't been flopping around in transport. And then number three, seeing what that rooted hair is like. It's worth just having a look, because if you do have an issue, it's better find out sooner than later, so you can go back to the retailer you bought it from. Have a peek.
I had to get it through Spec Fiction, so I'll take a peek and see. But yeah,
I heard Todd's supposed to be very good though.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I think, Chris, I guess we're gonna hopefully try to podcast this week. We'll talk about anything else.
Yeah. So I actually have I think it's the last Thursday and Friday in September off. So I don't know if you're doing a show on the last Wednesday of September, but I could stay up late. But what you're basically saying, Brian.
But now, I'm thinking I'm back.
I'm so glad I didn't delete that clip. I have it just for you. Just for you.
Well, that was that one show I popped on last time where you were going over the INART stuff. And
that's just for you.
The Gandalf looks great. I don't know if you guys have already talked about that yet. Like, I am completely blown away by that. So
absolutely. We're actually going to move on and talk about the Pennywise. We can talk about the Gandalf at some point. So these photos popped up of Pennywise, and it's funny how they're really, really homing in on this hairline, just showing the individual rooted in the cracked forehead. This is some of the creepiest stuff I've ever seen.
I don't know why.
It's Pennywise attached to part of the Ripley power loader apparently, but it's just, this is creepy. What do you reckon? Anyone want to jump in on this? Everyone's been so polite.
It looked very sort of no neckish on the original photographs that were shown. It just looked really, really puffy. I think you mentioned the body looked too big for the head. But I mean, in terms of the head sculpt itself, it's phenomenal. And my wife loves it. She loves horror, and if she's lucky enough, maybe I'll pick it up.
This is first of all, the wife sounds cool. Second of all, this is wow. This is some of the creepy stuff. It's so good. Fuel. It's so creepy. Nightmare fuel. Yeah, absolutely. I've heard people kind of say that, they're saying, okay, with the Joker they were 1 for 1, with Gandalf they're 2 for 2, and now with Pennywise, like I've heard some people saying that this is a miss. I don't think it's a miss, but I mean, what do you think, Brandon? Is this something you're interested in, or do you think this is a miss? Or
so actually, I have this on pre-order with Spec. I'm still contemplating if I want to keep it or not, because I'm about to sell my Hot Toys Pennywise, but I mean, like, I am a huge fan of the It films. Like the first one's my favorite. The second one I wasn't a huge fan of. I thought it was like a little too long, but the first one was just excellent. Just what INART did with this and how they, in my opinion, I feel like they improved on the Hot Toys. Just their head sculpt it's so on point. I love the rolling eyes, especially with this sculpt here. It looks absurdly crazy, but like in the best possible way. And like having the option between this sculpt and the normal sculpt, it's great, especially with the rooted hair too. I thought they did a phenomenal job. But with this and when the production photos, I think it looks fine. I definitely think like the jury's still out. Like I'm curious to see Joel's review. I think
Yeah.
he'll get it in soon, hopefully, and I think then we'll get a better idea as to how we can expect this figure to be. And I think Will posted like an updated photo someone took of this, and it looks really good in better lighting, because the lighting that they shot this at, it's more like a spotlight, like angled down, and it's not as nice looking. Like you could see there's just like one light above it, and I feel like it highlights more of the wrinkles in the outfit. It looks like the outfit's pretty wrinkled, but I mean, maybe that's how it should be because he's like a messy character in general. But I think it looks fine. I just think we need to wait and get more info and more photos and some reviews, and then we'll have a better idea.
Does anyone on the panel actually have this on pre-order? So
I have yet to see either movie.
Same.
They're worth
not really
a watch,
my
man.
genre.
Yeah, they're worth a watch. They're creepy. I thought it was well done. I started reading the book last year, but like I'm desperate for like I read a few books at one time, so I like read a chapter one book, a chapter in the other book, and then I'll read one book, and then I'll come back to the other book 6 months, a year later. But yeah, like I do like these movies. I do think this looks excellent. I still think the standard's high. I do think the outfit's a bit kind of poofy, possibly gives the impression he has no neck and that his body's too big for the head, but I still don't think it's overall a miss. I think maybe that'd be a bit harsh. But does it?
What was the price tag generally on this one?
Oh, I can't remember. Does anyone in the chat know?
I think it might have been like $520, like for both for the two head sculpts, maybe or like $580. Maybe but that was for
that's
the two head
very
sculpts.
pricey, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think for the one with this sculpt that's shown right here, maybe around like $420, but that's like here in the US with spec, I think. Maybe.
Just want to give a shout out here to Luminara. I believe we discussed I think it's Sunday the 17th. Luminara will be joining me for an episode of Visions. So we'll be just sitting down chatting the past, the present, and the future of our collecting journey. So I haven't put up the schedule yet, but if memory serves me correct from the chat we had on Instagram, Sunday the 17th, I think it was 12 p.m. Eastern time. So, but like, please pay attention to the I will schedule that, but really cool logo as well. Looking forward to chatting with her. Alan is just like dying to get his hands on this Pennywise. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to the photography that Alan does with them. He's gifted.
For sure.
And the same Brandon as well. His photography is amazing, so looking forward to it. Anyone else want to add more on this? Cool. Then we're going to move on. What I'm going to do is Brian brought it up, so Brian, I'm going to play this. I'm just going to play this and mute the audio on this INART official unboxing of Gandalf, and you can just chime in there whenever you want and have a chat about it. Sorry, I'm trying to mute this. There we go. Sorry, Brian. You said you were interested in this. Did you have this pre-ordered as well? Like, I can't remember. There was a long list of pre-orders, Brian.
Yeah, no, I've got this on order with spec. So I got in way too late to get in with what's the site everybody else use? 16kit, is that the one yeah. So I was too late to get there. I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Actually, The Fellowship of the Ring is probably like a top 5 movie for me. This just looks phenomenal. Like, I'm sure it's not completely screen accurate, but like Zhao, somebody had posted a whole bunch of photos. There was somebody else too that just got this in hand, and it just looks freaking amazing. Like, it's just, I can't believe that this is what we're going to start to get for figures. Just the quality, and I know that it's been beaten to death about the INART versus Hot Toys. Like, I'm all for competition making each other better. So I just hope as collectors in the long run we all just win. I mean, are the prices going to go up? Probably, but I have no problem paying the price for this. This just looks incredible. The quality is attention to detail.
When you compare it to say the Doc Ock we got today or the Kate Bishop, like, and I'll say straight out, like, I'm gonna be like, look, I'm going to take this opportunity because, like, I call things like I see them, and I'm really excited about that Doc Ock figure, and I'm still getting it, but it is not perfect. And I'm gonna, you're gonna get the honest opinion from me later on in it. Like, but this, when you compare, like, say, this Gandalf to those two figures, it does look like a significant quality difference. This just looks like it has a pulse. Like it's ridiculous. So you got this pre-ordered already, Brian?
Yeah, and actually, I think I had to do a payment plan on it with Spec just because I even missed a deposit window. So actually, I think I've already got this all paid off. So supposedly, they're going to start to get it a little bit sooner. So I might even have this by the end of the year.
That's amazing. That's good. That's pretty cool. Anyone else on the panel have this on order?
No, I the thing is, it's like as beautiful as it is, and it's an amazing figure. The Aragorn that they're going to actually get, and I also am a huge, Lord of the Rings fan. Selectively, because of my collection and where I'm at right now, it just wouldn't fit. And I didn't want to kind of commit to going down that road just because something looks spectacular. Now, from them, I already have like the INART, of course, the Joker 2-pack rooted. I have the Batman all-in paid off. Once that's ready to ship, then I'll have that. But this figure's out the water, man. Like it looks like
man.
the shrunken down version, of Ian McKellen, man. Like it looks just like him. Like, and I'm like, come on, man. Like you can't get any better than that. So, if I could have got my hands on it, definitely, if I had reason to, and if I had the real estate as far as like placing it in the space where it would fit and it would make sense, then I definitely would. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like right now it's a pass, and I think that it's not available anymore, right? Am I correct? Like it's sold out everywhere.
You can get these.
Yeah.
You can get these.
Yeah.
You can get these. Yeah. Or you can, if you really want to, you can get it. Like we're in the same mind frame with this.
Yeah.
Like this looks stunning.
Yeah.
We both love the trilogy, but like I'm not a die-hard Lord of the Rings fan. But I gotta say, man, the FOMO is real with this.
It's real
because it's just that
real.
good.
It's real. So it definitely is. I was hoping that possibly, I can get on that Brandon Salad budget, considering the simple fact that, he takes these immaculate photos and his videos are up to par. There's some money to be made from that. So, hopefully
he's on commission, man.
I can get that Brandon Salad card and, we can talk about it. But no,
he's going to have to change his name to like, something like higher class, like branded steak.
Right. Upper tier.
Like less of this salad, man. It's like
sprinkles.
Creme.
We'll call him sprinkles.
Why did you call yourself Branded Salad?
Why?
Yeah.
So, my actual last name is Salazar, and when I was younger, these kids nicknamed me Salad Bar. Salad Bar.
Right. That's dope, though. That's dope.
Kids have such good imaginations, don't they?
It works.
Little did they know they'd be helping you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then I was like, do I want my name to be Brandon Salad Bar or just keep it short? Brandon Salad. That sounds clean. It's
Salad,
like, and then some people think it's my actual last name, like P-Rock did.
Yeah. Right.
He was wondering. Hey, that's not a Latino name.
Yeah.
It's like you're on LWO. We're all honorary Latinos when we get brought onto LWO.
Yeah,
so I've been told. So.
But this is amazing though. I think for anybody who's going to get it, and it just, again, it is nostalgia. You know what I mean? That's probably one of the, up there as I would say trilogy wise, it's definitely a top 3 trilogy of all time because of its, its impact and just, how cohesive the story was. You love it, but I don't know, man. Like maybe down the road, I would do it, but right now it's a no. But it's still, I would definitely get this over Pennywise. That Pennywise would freak me the hell out, and I couldn't do it. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, but this is amazing. It's definitely an amazing piece, man.
Like that'd be the pose.
Like Shane, this is like when I saw this, like, and we got the video and stuff here, like, I was already in on the figure, but you know, we're just talking about like what would you do with your collection and you know, existing thing. Like, to me, this almost makes me reevaluate what I already have, what I had planned to get, because I'm like, if this is going to be the bar, why would you settle for less? And one of the things that we can all do, I mean, we can all get on channels like this and we can say how things are great and where things need to be improved, and people get FOMO and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, all we do is we vote with our wallets. So, I mean, that is how you get these companies to change. I really don't think that they're perusing the comment sections of anything. Yeah. So, I mean, vote with your wallets. So for me, this is like, I feel like not to sound snobbish, but like, I feel like this ups my standards of where I'm going to spend my money going forward. I'd rather spend my money on this than get 2 Hot Toys.
They're definitely making a statement. Like they're making a solid statement as to what's to come in the future. And I already got my eyes on that BVS Henry Cavill Superman. Once they drop that, me too. You know, I got my and again, they're hints. They are those hints. They said they were going to do it before, but we have to wait and see. But if they drop that Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, it's over. I already know it. It is over. So definitely I got to have that as well. I think they said they're going to do the BVS Batman as well. So that's coming. So there's a few and I think, Shane, that Michael Jackson, bro, I'm sorry, man. That Mike is coming home, bro. And when it comes home, I'm going to need you to do a voice recording. So I can. Yeah,
I'm on it.
You got it? All right, cool. Sweet.
I'm on it. I'm telling you, you're going to get it all. You're going to get it all. Yeah, so like, do you know what's funny? The way Brian was describing it there, it's like, it's kind of like wine or whiskey even. It's like, you know, you start off and you're drinking wine, you're drinking like a $10 bottle of wine, and it's like, you know, it's like, you know, it's $10, it's fine, it's not particularly great, and then suddenly someone like, you know, you're maybe in a nice restaurant, or someone who's like a sommelier or knows their wine, they'll be like, hey, try this wine, it's like a $30 bottle of wine, and someone else like a few years down, someone else gives you like a really an aged wine, you're like, oh my god, that's delicious, and suddenly the $10 wine loses its appeal. Taste that good anymore. It doesn't taste that good anymore. Yeah, so but the difference is, where there'll always be like different tiers of wine and stuff like that. Yeah, Hot Toys aren't sitting on their laurels. Like I do think like the fact that we have an Artisan Joker now is a direct response. We have seen when they both put up for pre-order their version of the Robert Pattinson Batman, there was issues because people were saying that the Hot Toys one, if with the sculpt that it had, the hair was straight, and that was more like the Bruce Wayne, it would be a lot messier. A few months down the line, they give you these updates, and they're saying, look, we've updated the sculpt, we've updated for the messy hair, we've updated the proportions. A lot of the stuff they wouldn't usually do. So I do think there's no way they don't know who INART is. There's no way they're not kind of going, all right, they're doing this. I think that's good. I think that's really good.
You know what? I say this, and I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but with the amount of you know, SKUs that we actually get from Hot Toys, the amount of figures that we actually get from them, I sort of want INART to stay a little bit more reserved and exclusive. What I mean by that is, I don't want them to start releasing a whole bunch of figures. I want them to basically focus on one at a time, maybe smaller, but just because they give us the quality, I don't want a lot from them. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, when you get an INART box, bro, like straight up getting that INART Joker, it just felt like it was exclusive. It felt like I was getting something. I mean, I already felt that way when I got their Wonder Woman statue, you know, but getting an INART piece, you know, of the same value, you get like all the, you know, the authenticity form and stuff like that. It's an event, like it is, and that's what it basically feels like. So I don't want them to oversaturate the market like Hot Toys does. And it's no gripe against Hot Toys, because like I said, they're still good. I just want them to, you know, kind of stay more reserved and just start giving, you know, if they continue to give us quality like this, it's worth waiting for. You know what I mean? It definitely is worth waiting for.
Yeah. Chris, were you going to chime in on something there?
Yeah, I just want to mention the effect that it's had on like Asmus and their Gandalf, and willing to do this upgraded head sculpt in like smaller batches and kind of up their game, because you know it's just like what Brian said, the competition is good for these companies, because you know, initially when they had their Gandalf came, you know, everybody was like, oh my gosh, look at this. And then INART is like blows them out of the water. And so then they have to kind of up their game. And it's just, I think it's a good thing. It, you know, the rising tide, you know, raises all ships. And I just think, I like what I'm seeing from these other companies. You know, they're not, like you said, they're not just sitting around on the sidelines. They're doing stuff to try to bring customers back in and say, hey, we can up our game, you know? So I just, you know, it's a good move overall.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone on the panel getting this?
I am.
No, not
I'm so
me.
glad someone's getting it.
I am. I mean, look, bro, because again, I like the show. You know, I really did like the show. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it came around, you know, out around the holiday season, and you know that kind of stuck with me. You know, I love Clint Barton, I love Hawkeye. You know, Kate Bishop's story, stuff like that. I love the portrayal. You know, the conclusion was a bit rough, but I mean, even still, you know, I can sit with it. This figure, you know, I had my eye on. I mean, even, you know, I was really critical about it today. I'm not gonna lie, because it just, you know, when I looked at the head sculpt, it felt like an animated type of head sculpt. It felt like I was looking at another Captain Carter figure. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt that way. And, you know, somebody had pointed out, I think Linda had pointed out, well, maybe it's the hair. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. It's the
Because
hair.
I can see.
Yeah.
Like I can see Haley Steinfeld here. I can definitely see Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
I think it's unique because Hot Toys, their jam, like lately, one of the real strengths is they're getting so good at sculpted hair.
Yeah.
But this isn't a good example of them being good at sculpted hair.
It's not. It's too. And that's the thing. Like, you know, when we get figures like, you know, Cosca Reeves, or when we get Fennec Shan, you know, we see how good the sculpted hair looks on those figures.
Yeah.
And then you look at this, and it's like, okay, you know, what maybe they were going for that younger look. I mean, because, you know, Haley is, you know, portraying a younger character. Definitely, I understand that, but
That's
I don't
a great
know.
pose. I like
Yeah,
this
that pose is incredible.
That's cool.
But I mean, again, like I said, I was originally, when I pre-ordered this, you know, when I got it, was with hopes that they would also release, you know, that Clint Barton, because we saw it in the actual, you know, prototype photos, but they never did. So it's like, okay, well, too late. I already paid for this, so you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Would it be fair that, like, the point I made, the main points in the video I made earlier on was I did comment on the hair. I did say that the likeness is there. I did say that I just like figures that come with an accessory like like the bow. I just think that's a cool accessory, and the fact that the bow actually moves. But one of the points I was making is that for me, I think this is, if someone's collecting is rooted in their love of comic books like yourself, then they're going to gravitate this because it's from the comic books and it's the comic book representation. Would that be a fair point to make?
Yeah.
Like as opposed to someone who knows nothing about it and just saw the show.
Yeah. So that's definitely it. Like, my, you know, would have actually been decent if they would have gave this character shades, because she does wear them in, you know, the books, you know, just for accuracy. There's a certain science behind it, but I think, yeah, like it's if you've never read the books and you've just seen the show, you associate it to that. But for me, reading the books, I kind of associate it to just the comics itself. But it's a fair assessment. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a fair assessment. Like, it just depends on what you're getting it for. I mean, right now it's waitlisted through Sideshow. I'm pretty sure you can get it elsewhere. But again, you know, I always preference it by, you know, there's people out there who will want it. There's people who don't. You know, don't get it just because I say I am, and don't pass on it just because a few people may say that they don't want it. You know what I mean? You have to decide for yourself. So, but it was something that I did want to get and have in my collection.
Good stuff. Does anyone else want to add anything?
Yeah, this is one of those figures, like I love Marvel, a lot of things Marvel, but this is just one of those Marvel figures that I just don't need in my collection. But as far as like the show, like it gets a lot of flack, but I decently enjoyed it. Like like Lael said, like it was around Christmas time. There was kind of like a good vibe around that show, and I think Haley Steinfeld's portrayal was fun. Her banter with Yelena was amazing. It was so funny. It felt so genuine. That was definitely my favorite part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then with Clint, I thought he was great too. Just being that mentor. The dog was funny too. But yeah, all in all, just like the show, but just the figure is just not for me, I guess.
I wish the figure came with a dog. That would have put it over the edge. Yeah, I mean, this figure, I think, it doesn't quite hit all the marks. But I think for those Marvel collectors that want a different element to a display, I think her color scheme and everything, I think it adds something different than her figure can pop on a shelf with other, young Avengers and that sort of thing. But it's unfortunate we didn't get the Clint from the series. I did enjoy the series. It's one of those ones that I've been meaning to go back and rewatch, probably during the holiday season. But I think Hot Toys could have dialed in the head sculpt and the hairstyling a little bit. The rest of the figure, I think looks pretty good, but not one that I'm targeting.
Okay, I think it's time. I think this is the shit. I actually love it, but the head sculpt, it's.
What is up with the smile on this one?
I know.
It's so goofy looking.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of it's in line with the character, but man.
Yeah, you just we're gonna go through the panel, whatever people can chime in and be as honest and brutal as you want to be. I'm gonna say wait until last. But Brian, go on, continue on, go for it, go nuts.
Oh, if you want to just say, I haven't actually looked at a lot of these closely, but I did see the just that smirk, the smile. I mean, I don't know. I like the fact that Hot Toys will give some, characters with some personality, but also when they do like an open sculpt or they're smiling like Paul Rudd did for one of his Ant-Man figures there, it just really limits what you can do on display.
Like the believability.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I wish I don't even know. This isn't even one I was that interested in, and like a lot that everyone else has said too. Like Marvel is just not somewhere I'm looking to put a lot of focus on my collection here. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of nice things to say about this one.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. I get the criticism on this one. I completely get it. Leia, where are you at with this? I don't think you're going to get this anyway because you have the third-party version, I think, which is.
I have the Toys Era version, and I think that works perfectly fine for me. I have no problem with that one whatsoever. It's lived up to everything, according to what I want, so I'm fine. This, again, I mean, it's the put it this way, for as far as quality wise, the tailoring, ingenuity with the tentacles, like his arms, that's perfect. It works perfectly fine. I just think that, again, it's not that much off from what we got with the prototype originally, the prototype announcement. It's almost a damn near same thing, which means there were there weren't too many changes on it. Like, again, like Brian said, like that smile, I would have loved a more stern visual when it comes to this character. Just stern. You don't have to give it like a smile. But then again, you know, devil's advocate, they know a lot of people have been asking for more expression when it comes to their figures. So this is probably why they did it. But still, yeah, nah, man. I looked at this earlier and he does look like John Lennon slightly. You know, I'm not going to lie. It does. From a certain angle, I thought I was looking at John Lennon mixed with, you know, Mike Myers a bit. You know what I mean? And I had asked, so I put it out. I was like, yo, somebody should send me a video, you know, of this figure playing the, you know, what is it? What's it? Mike Myers' character?
Austin Powers?
Austin Powers playing the Austin Powers theme. And somebody did. Ren Stallantino did. It was funny.
Oh, Ren.
But, and then Shane, you got to watch.
The internet.
You got to watch the show. Watch it on playback because something else funny happened about this figure, and when you watch it, you'll understand. But yeah, I think. But I preference it to say that if people want to get this figure, if they don't have the Toys Era version, if they skipped out on that version to get this, and if they're completionists, because you know a lot of people are, then this would be the one to get, and it's still going to look good. It's, you know, for them, but that head sculpt, yeah, it was a no for me in the very beginning anyway. But that head, oh my God,
oh
keep the glasses
boy,
on.
Yeah,
keep them glasses on, bro. Yeah, nah, man, nah, bro, nah.
Wait, there's one photo here which I didn't think it was too bad, but you know, when you're using a phrase like that,
go back usually... like go back to the left, like that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's bad, bro.
If you can go back four to the left.
I will. I just want to show you the prototype. So that was the prototype. Sorry, it's stretched here now.
Yeah. I mean, you know what you're getting, I guess. But...
Yeah, you did.
I think they've leaned up the face a little bit. Can you see like all that cheek there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably did, but still.
It's not great, man. It isn't great. But what would you give it out of 10?
See, like this right here, like this just doesn't work. It's like an action pose, and he's like,
"Hello, Peter."
Yeah,
exactly.
It doesn't look menacing at all.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, this is like I gave it a 6.5. Yeah. I gave it between a 6.5 out of 10. I was being generous at that point because I think the ingenuity is there. And then what bodes well for this, I think you get swap out pieces for the arms itself.
Yeah,
as well,
if you get the deluxe, you get the nanotech.
Yeah, you get the nanotech and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. But
do you know this is like this? Do you ever see that sketch? Oh man, who did it? Dave Chappelle. What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Slap.
You know?
Yeah.
That's so loud. Oh man.
Yeah. It's definitely rough, funny, man. Yeah. But I think. But here's the thing: it's safe to say that if they're doing this, if they give us a head sculpt like this for this figure, which isn't deviating too far away from the prototype, then hopefully what we get with Electro and the Green Goblin, you know what I mean, Jamie Foxx. I hope it looks the same. I hope it's not too far off, and they get those right. But yeah, this one, it's going through some wars, bro.
This looks amazing, man. I think this one, this, I know the head sculpt's not on point. Yeah. Like I'd say it's about a 7 out of 10. Maybe that's even being generous. But with the glasses on, yeah, it's not. I can't sit here. I'm still really excited about this particular figure. I'm excited about the look of it, but I can't sit here and say that this is, a 10 or a 9 or an 8. I think I give it a 7. Maybe that's been a bit too generous, but yeah. Brandon, you have the floor. I believe you're excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm torn. Like, Spider-Man 2 is probably my favorite film ever. Like, I have such a huge tie to that film growing up. And Alfred Molina's portrayal was just so good. And to see him come back for No Way Home, it was just another level. Just to see him in the role again, and of course Willem Dafoe, and Jamie Foxx,
Yeah.
everyone. That film it was just a great time.
Definitely a fun film, bro.
But
Definitely a fun film.
yeah. But this figure, I'm definitely excited, but I'm wary. Like it's because it's one of those instances where like my love for the character exceeds my love for the figure, so I'm probably gonna get it on that sense just for the character itself. But I'm also thinking I might just go the custom route and see if anyone's doing a custom head sculpt, which I saw. I think Ren's sent me. Someone's doing a custom head sculpt of him already.
Yeah, man.
I know
Yeah.
customizers are on their shit like ASAP. Like whenever they see Hot Toys drop a sculpt that's questionable, they're on it because they know people want that. Yeah. But this is definitely. I'm probably gonna wait to see how prices look because I know it's waitlisted most places. So hopefully I can grab it someplace around retail. Hopefully, but yeah, can't wait to photograph this guy too. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Neilerific, I haven't seen you live, I don't think, but you're a recent channel member. I do appreciate you being here, and thanks very much for supporting the channel. Also, where were you at about 5 o'clock today when I was trying to... What's a funny pun I can think in the front of my thumbnail? Doc Awkward, yeah, that could have been used, definitely. Mario, I've sent you the link. We got Tyria just saying this is the Tada pose. It's like he just stuck a pencil in someone's eye. I suppose the Joker.
Yeah, Ray,
says,
Ray with Underground Figures still has us up for pre-order. So if it's waitlisted Sideshow, then Ray will hook you up. He's awesome, especially your stateside.
I've used him a lot actually.
That's my guy, man. I just messaged him just now about something. So yeah.
Dan said that this is rough. Payton23 says 8 out of 10 with the glasses. I'd say 7 out of 10 with the glasses, and I'm hyped about this. I'll get to it eventually. But Payton says 5 out of 10 without the glass. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
But Brandon made actually a good point about this too. Is like everything else about this figure is great. It's going to have shelf presence, the arms and everything, but like that sculpt can ruin it. So I mean, these customizers and these people have far more talent than I ever will. Like I got the Batman Begins figure from Sideshow, and I don't even want to open the box because I know the head sculpt's gonna stink, the cape's gonna stink, and I'm like, do I really want to drop another $400 to make this figure shelf worthy? So
well, now Brian, you've come to the right place, because it just so happens that's exactly what I'm doing after speaking to Dean Knight. If you think you're enabled, I'm telling you, actually, you dropped a lot of your POs were the Dark Knight, so you might regret saying that. Now I know exactly what I'm going to annoy you with in our Instagram group chat over the next few weeks. Alan as well. Myself and Alan are going that kind of route. Like I got the OT Customs cape. I've ordered that Jackson shoe head sculpt. I don't even have the Batman Begins yet, but I want to get the 2.0 matte version because I believe then I can mess around with it. But it's not going to be done anytime soon. But who hasn't gone on this? Phil?
I think it's an incredible figure, without doubt. I mean, I love the way you can pose him on the tentacles. The body looks right. The tailoring looks phenomenal. But yeah, that head sculpt. Yeah, you'd have to go custom, wouldn't you, with that?
Yeah, definitely you would, bro. I mean, from certain angles, man, like you can tilt the head down a slight bit, and if you turn it to the side, like you might get. And if you keep those glasses on, I mean, it's not as bad, but when I compare it to, a Toys R Us version of that head, even though it's not as, defined, it's still, to me, it's a better head sculpt.
Could you swap it out with that, Lou? Could you swap?
Possibly. I haven't, I mean, it just depends, but you could probably do it. I think you probably could, swap it out just to see how it would work. But then again, it's just like, would it, I guess, would you get the proportions right with it? You know what I mean? Because this definitely looks like a bigger body.
Does it have does the Toys R Us one have the joint up inside the neck, or does it have the neck
like
as
the
part
neck
of the
piece?
head sculpt? Yeah. I didn't see anybody doing any comparisons today yet, but
I didn't see it either. Keep on talking. Let me go check it out real quick.
I love this pose here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Leal was saying, like I think depending on where you have it positioned in your display, if it's down a little bit lower with the right lighting and stuff, I think you could get away with it. If you're buying it to photograph and do a lot of things that way, I mean, I think it's going to be tough. This with
Okay.
yeah. So any word on that head sculpt comparison, Leal?
Yeah, so the head sculpt, you can, well, it's not a full neck piece. It's just like the head, you can pop it off, whatever. So I don't know if this is like a full neck piece for this one. But if it isn't, you can swap the headpiece or the if you want to. But I don't know. Again, it just depends on the proportions. If it looks good, if what a paint apps you don't have to worry about because again, he's wearing gloves, he has a turtleneck on, so he's good there. But I think it just depends. It definitely depends. But I mean, look, end of the day, bro. Like I said, this is still a decent figure for those who are completionists and they want to have it in their collection. And to be quite honest though, how often do we say a lot about head sculpts until we get it in hand and see it up close? Could be different. You know what I mean? Sometimes, it could be different once you get it.
Like I can't for the life of me photograph my Oscar Reeves figure to make the head sculpt look good, but then in person I'm like, okay, my pictures are not translating. I mean, this figure looks amazing in person.
Bro. Yeah,
bro. So more
your light box is has like a floodlight on top of it, so
that's true. That's true. I'm not I'm not a professional like Brandon.
You are the worst.
Yeah, definitely.
Jeez, man. Mario, I'm being bullied here, man. Help me out,
Look, I completely agree with everybody regarding the head sculpt. I think it's still there's little to no improvement to the prototype in my opinion from what I've seen, but still, man, I still think that's not a deal breaker. I mean, I'm really not interested in this figure per se, but it doesn't take away the fact that I still think this thing still has presence. It looks like a fun figure to pose. I think the bloggers that were actually posing this up, during in their photos, to me, it looked like they had a fun time with it, and I just kind of get that same, vibe. It just looks like a fun piece to mess with. I'm not going down this line, but I still don't think the head sculpt is a deal breaker for me personally.
Cool. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. Did anyone else? Did everyone go?
Yep.
It's it's the most we've ever had in the whole show. Leal, do you wanna dip or do you wanna? Will I just quickly?
I'm gonna be ducking out, Shane. I gotta.
No problem.
Yeah, I got it. My client.
It's not because Mario just showed up, but
yeah, I know, man.
Now everybody want to leave. Damn.
Nah,
hey,
man.
Mario, you gotta get that invite. Is that hopefully it's on the way, huh? For
Dude,
LWO.
You just say the word. You just say it, man. The door's
Brian, I'm still trying to get you on. Say what, bro?
Well, make it happen.
All right, man. I'm trying to get everybody on here at least once. Come on, man. Let me know when y'all available.
Just
man.
drop me a line. I'll hop on.
All right, definitely, man. Thank you, man.
All right, Shane. Thanks
for. Yeah. Brian, real quick, just be warned that last Friday we did 5 hours, and we got episode 50 coming up. Goodness. We're talking 24 hours. So yeah, man.
I might have to wait. I might have to wait till soccer season's done because early Saturday morning I'm at the field all day, so I can't do 5 hours.
Yeah. All right, man. But Shane, thanks for having me here, bro. And
no problem, man. Thanks for jumping in.
Nice meeting everybody.
Nice meeting you,
man. Close and stuff like that. And Mario, I'll get at you later, bro.
No doubt, bro.
All right,
see you, man.
All right. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, everybody.
Later.
See you, Brian.
We'll see you, Brian. All right. So, look, first of all, Dan, I sent you the link. I'm guessing you're working or you're busy, whatever, but just let us know if you want to pop in, just pop in whenever.
You're working, man. We're on holiday today, bro.
Day.
Maybe he's entertaining a guest or something. I know. So, yeah, look, I got to talk about this. I got to say, I'm still really excited about this. MCU movies in the last few years. I'll sum it up. Besides No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I was getting sick and tired of going to the cinema and paying whatever amount of money between price of tickets and popcorn and stuff. Pardon?
Shang-Chi? You didn't like Shang-Chi?
I thought it was fine. but it didn't change my
love it.
life. Like, it didn't get me in the fields. It didn't get me hyped. Besides the tram scene, I thought the tram scene was one of the best choreographed action scenes in the MCU. But I think it was when they saw your man Trevor Slattery again. They went to that Dragonland. Just lost me, man. You know, different strokes for different folks. But my point is, I actually enjoyed Barbie so much better than like a lot of MCUs recently, with the exceptions of No Way Home.
I agree.
No Way Home and
Still need to see it. So
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Look, from start to finish, it made me laugh a lot. Ryan Gosling was amazing. Margot Robbie was fantastic. But like, you know, she could just sit there and sing the alphabet and I'd be entertained. She's just stunning. But this was such an event, this movie. It brought cinema back. It was post the pandemic. You know, everyone kind of knew they were in it, but didn't really know until you got to see it. The atmosphere in the cinema, like we saw an open night in Ireland, and typically Irish people don't like go nuts at the cinema, but the cinema went nuts. It was like full of diehard fans, and it was just a great experience. And I've watched it multiple times since, and I love it. This is a triple threat for me. I love the character, I love the source material, and I love this version. I'm still psyched about this. I think this figure had potential to be figure of the year if they'd sorted that head sculpt, but unfortunately now it's not going to be in the running, I don't believe. But everything about this, bar the head sculpt, I really like. I like the fact that you get the normal tentacles and the deluxe swap out ones, the nanotech ones if you're getting the deluxe. I love the coat. I love the tailoring with the polo neck. I suppose it's pleather, the brown pleather undercoat. I'll be leaving the glasses on. I can't give this figure really any more than about a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's the worst sculpt I've ever seen, but I'd be lying if I sat here and said, you know, it's the image of Alfred Molina, because it's not. But yeah, they're pretty much my thoughts on it. I'm still really excited about coming in. I'm not cancelling or anything like that. This is coming home. But I would entertain the thought of, if I see a good head sculpt out there, a custom, third party, whatever, because I've done that for the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man for the simple reason that the Andrew Garfield one, he's obviously, they branded it the Amazing Spider-Man 2. He does look significantly younger.
Yeah. And
with No Way Home, he was that bit older. I'm actually going to put up a picture of the...
is it the RCN?
No, it's that one was sold out when I went looking for it. It was the Blackgate Studio bearded... Blackgate Studio bearded Andrew. I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, I've got a picture of it here. So let's see if I can just pop it up. If you just give me 1 minute now, I'll just get that ready. So I have it here, and right. Sorry, 1 second. I just want to make sure I have this done properly. Okay. So yeah, I would entertain the thought, basically, if I had to. I won't know until I get it in hand, but I'm not really a massive fan of the in-hand argument. I've never seen a figure that looked terrible, and then when I got it in hand, it was like a banger, or the opposite. But I know there can be little deviations. But 1 second, I'll show you this now. Right. So
can I just say I love how Brennan is using the macro lens on himself right now. My man just
like
extreme close
ultra fresh.
Right? Setting that
ultra
vibe,
fresh.
Man. Look at that.
Thanks, man.
And got it here.
Making me feel like I need to upgrade my equipment.
Oh, same.
Bro, no.
Thought it was
just
the only one.
get a good lens. Just get a good lens with a low f-stops, like f1.4. You set it on f1.4. The background's blurry, crisp. You're crisp.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
So, yeah.
Chris, the hardware is not ready for you, bro. That's just too much chance of going on.
Yeah.
Nah, the world's not ready for it, man.
No, man. Yeah. Appreciate it.
So this is the one I went with for the Andrew, the
good.
one on the left with the beard. I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully it turns out good in hand. But you know, if there was, I'll see how the Doc Ock feels when I have it on the shelf, and I'm like, no, I like that, then I won't bother. Because I'm looking up at that Loki. Remember the initial photo with Loki with the helmet, and the helmet was off, and he had that like helmet hair. You know, the Endgame 2012 Loki.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was, people were losing their minds. But when with the helmet on, like I'm looking at it here, from whatever angle I look at it, it's Tom Hiddleston. But when you take off the helmet, yeah, it does lose a bit of it, like this, you know. So yeah, maybe they do a third party sculpt, and I would
How much?
definitely
How much were these head sculpts?
This was cheap. Now I didn't get the one on the right. I just got the one on the left because I felt he did have a small bit like 5 o'clock shadow, maybe a bit of a beard in No Way Home. It was only like, it was cheap. Like I think it was like, I'll tell you one thing, because I got it through Lion Rock. They quoted me like 360 Hong Kong dollars. So I'll just do the conversion here. I think it was 360. So that would be, it was cheap. It was like $45. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. You know, so
yeah,
I was happy.
Similar to I had gotten Hella head sculpt with rooted hair, and I've gotten like the No Way Home Homecoming Tom Holland head sculpt from So Toys, like from a couple of years ago, and I'm always surprised. You know, these after, you know, third-party head sculpts, they're pretty good for the price. It would be different if you're, you know, going with like a, you know, fully custom head sculpt where you're paying like $600, $700, $800. But you know, I think it's always fun to have an option with some of these figures for sure. Different, you know, change up a display every now and then. And 30, 40, $50, you know, it's not going to break the bank.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So with the Doc Ock, does anyone have anything else they want to add in, or are you happy enough?
I was just going to say, I can't wait to see some collectors like Sinister 6 set. I know one of our scavengers, Savon, he's like all into the villains and everything, and I can't wait to see his whole like display with all these characters, because you know I'm not going to be pulling anything like that off.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I was kind of mentioned on what video I did earlier on. I've never been a completionist, but if there are definitely some lines which I have gone deeper into. Easy example, the Endgame line. Don't have all the Endgame figures, but have a certain amount, and there's still a few that I'd entertain the thought of getting. And No Way Home is going to be similar. There's definitely figures from No Way Home I'm not going to get, but at the same time, I'll probably go deeper into that line than I would into other lines. The same as I'd like of The Dark Knight. So it'd be interesting just to have them up together, posed together, have a, you know, on the floating shelves, something like some sort of a, not a full set, because I don't need the full set of a lot of things, but it would be nice to do that. So Ahsoka episode 3, folks. Who wants to take the lead on this?
It was very Japanese samurai inspired. I think when they were training, they were using wooden samurai swords. The starfighters that the Dark Jedi were flying, they look very similar to Japanese the Mitsubishi Zeros during World War II. So there seem to be a lot of similar. I know her Ahsoka in design is very sort of samurai anyway, with the shoes and the trousers and everything she wears. But yeah,
yeah. For me, I would say, you know, I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. There's pluses and minuses with both of them. For me, this episode, it was my favorite one so far. Ahsoka's my favorite character, period, out of any like franchise. So, you know, I wouldn't say like my preconceived notions are not, I'm just letting it, you know, whatever comes to me. I'm not expecting certain things, but like, you know, I'm hoping for, you know, big storylines and character moments and stuff like that. So this episode, I really liked the way it progressed. I liked seeing the training. There was a lot more dialogue, and the space battle. I liked all that stuff, and I mean, I love a character design change, and to see Ahsoka in a totally different outfit that we'd never seen before in live action. She had a lot of different outfits, like in the Clone Wars animated series. but to see this, it has my fingers crossed that we're gonna get a Hot Toys of this version.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's because it's my character. Like,
of course. Yeah. Every Ahsoka, all the Ahsokas, right?
Yeah. I'm just being selfish, as far as what I want. But I love that seeing her out in space, like fighting and just the confidence and all that stuff. And then
I would have blasted her out of the sky, though. I would have gone for the ship. I would have just
right?
lock onto the dead ship. Bye. Good night, Ahsoka.
Right?
I think Shin Hati had, she just couldn't, get off.
She was drinking more than hot tea that day, man. Her aim was off.
Right.
Hey.
But I mean,
I'm
it's
here all night.
I think, I want to see, how the story progresses in, in the next episode. But I don't know. Just for me, I really liked this episode, and I like where things are going.
Brandon?
Yeah, this episode didn't do it for me. When the season opened with the back-to-back season openers, the first two episodes, I was really on board. I thought it was fun. I'm a huge Rebels fan. Rebels might be my favorite Star Wars property ever. Like, I just had such a great time with that show. It was very family orientated, and it was just a great vibe. And bringing those characters to live action, it was so exciting to see. It was awesome to see Clancy Brown reprise his role as the live action version. I never thought I'd see that. That was such a cool surprise. Sabine has been great. I think for me, she's the standout. But with this episode, it just, I don't know. I maybe it was the length. I know some people gripe about it that it's too short. But I mean, I think if the length serves the episode story that well, then it should work. But for me, this episode just didn't work that well. With the training moments at the beginning, I think there were some moments where I felt like it was a little too long. I know the show is kind of taking its time with certain shots, and I'm like, okay, you can cut right here, or you can cut right here. There are moments where it prolongs just a little too long. That's me. That's more like a nitpick on me. But and then when it got into the space battle stuff, it's funny. There was a moment where I was thinking about it. I'm like, is this did they just keep showing the same style of shots over and over again? And it kind of reminded me of if you guys saw an old Family Guy episode when they're parroting Star Wars and they just kept playing
Harvest.
Yeah, they kind of replayed this shot of a TIE fighter going in and going in and going in because maybe
Do you know what I love about Family Guy humor? They'll do something stupid they'll show a character going, "Hey Meg, if I smoke this pipe, will I look cool?" And it's not funny. It's definitely not funny.
No.
But they'll keep doing it for 5 minutes.
They commit.
And they will beat you into submission, and then you laugh and realize it's hilarious. Yeah, that's...
during the space battle, it kind of reminded me of that, which I was kind of laughing. I was like, oh, man. But yeah, I don't know. Just this episode didn't really do it for me. But regardless, I'm still excited to see the rest of the show. Ahsoka is also one of my favorite Star Wars characters. She just her whole arc from Clone Wars and Rebels, it's so inspiring. It was so just cool, so refreshing to see a character like that turn, not necessarily turn, but go against the Jedi Order and just question things, because it's important to question things in life. But But I think also one of my favorite things about the show is the end credits score. I love that. It is so just cinematic. It's so beautiful yet brooding. It's a great feel. Excited to see more.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what it is? It's for me overall, it's I'm right in the middle, 2.5, 3 stars out of 5 from what I've seen so far. There's definitely been things that I've loved about it, like Shin Hati, Ray Stevenson's character, Baylan Skull, the droid as well. With the little bit we saw of Chopper and the other droid. I keep forgetting that other droid's name, the one that's David Tennant.
Ho Yang.
Why do I keep forgetting it? Is
Ho Yang?
Ho Yang. Just I love that in a person that I'm going to tell you this 100% blunt, like a sledgehammer to the face. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is, but you need to hear this. I love that. Just there's no it's not a lack of empathy. That's the wrong way. It's just very direct.
every time
those
he
pep
tells
talks.
Sabine that she's literally the worst candidate.
Yeah,
every time.
But it's the right. Those characters need to hear those things as well. It doesn't sugarcoat it. And some of the action with Ahsoka with those droids and stuff, I loved all that. But then there's the whole, getting stabbed by a lightsaber again. The person doesn't die. The little plot hole is like, just shoot the disabled ship, as opposed to the person with the lightsabers on the ship. Those things kind of take me out of. Look, in summary, I knew nothing about Ahsoka, and then I saw her pop up. I knew who she was. A lot of it from watching The Scavengers and watching you speak so passionately about it, and also Jedi Patrol's a big fan as well of Ahsoka. But I'd never watched the Clone Wars. I just knew what she looked like, and that a lot of people would say she's the greatest story arc of any Star Wars character in any Star Wars media. When I saw her in Mandalorian, like, I could go on all day about it, but I want to keep the stream somewhat reasonable length. Everything I saw in that episode about how they portrayed the character and how she portrayed the character and the setup and everything, it made me want to know more. That made me watch Clone Wars. That's why I'm in season 5 now, whatever. I feel like I've been in season 5 forever, but like I'm getting there. But whereas this show is not making me want to watch Rebels, but I won't give up. I like to watch the whole thing. This way I see it, it's an 8-chapter TV show, and I've seen 3 so far. I think it's in the middle for me. It's in the middle. Mario?
Oh, I absolutely enjoyed it, man. I think this is the more one that I enjoyed out of all of them so far. I mean, to be honest, it was a much different change of pace compared to the first 2 episodes, which I totally get, right? The beginning scene reminded me a lot of The Force Unleashed with the training with a Star Killer and what was the droid's name? Proxy. I don't know if you guys played the game or actually remember that, but it did give me kind of some of those vibes. But I thought that whole training montage with Sabine was great. It was cool to see, I guess, where she's at in her training, and we all agree she's not really there. I mean, maybe they'll play it off as to, maybe there might be something there, but in the end, she's not gonna, be a Jedi. Just have her go back to what she knows, which is being a Mandalorian, being more savvy in the tech world, and just have her do her damage like that. You know what I mean? So
I like the way she didn't just if that cup had moved.
Dude, don't act like none of us ever tried to do that either. I still try to do that to this day, man.
We all do it. We all do it. We all do it.
I mean, I'm sitting here right now looking at my water bottle. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
Right?
Phil's been trying to move his orders from Toys Wonderland from Hong Kong to the UK all day with his mind, so.
God be with you, Phil.
Yeah.
Right,
are you really a Star Wars fan if you haven't done that? So.
Automatic supermarket doors.
I mean, as far as the rest of the show, man, I totally get the complaints where it falls apart. I dug out the action though, man. It was cool, but yeah, it did have its moments where it's like, come on, it kind of takes. Well, first of all, I was gonna say it takes the believability out, but I mean, whole Star Wars, you gotta
suspension
check
of disbelief.
believability exactly. You gotta check that at the door when we're talking Star Wars, man. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, man. Absolutely looking forward to the fact that. Well, I'm loving that it's Tuesday nights now, so that's great.
Yeah.
For us here in the States, that's a huge plus.
Yeah.
Sorry for you guys out there
Still
overseas.
2 o'clock in the morning for us.
Oh no.
Well, yeah.
Overseas,
like you said.
That's in Shit Collector Say episode 7, man. I've got
Is
a
it
whole
really?
thing planned. I got something planned for that, man.
I
got something planned for that.
But
So
yeah, man, it was cool.
Anyone want to add in anything else about Ahsoka before we go on to the main topic of the channel, the live stream? Anyone?
I'm curious when Sabine might drop for pre-order.
Yeah,
sometime.
Definitely.
Give us some figures here.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I'm curious about that as well. I'm curious about when we're going to see Thrawn. The thing is, I've used this analogy a lot. If you're, I'm a fair weather Manchester United soccer fan. Times are bad, but if your team lose a few games or seasons, and you give up, you're not a really good fan, are you? You know what I mean? So Star Wars, this show is kind of middle for me, but I'm always hopeful for Wednesdays. I'm always hopeful maybe this one will be better, maybe it will end very well. Plus, there's still some great content out there. Right, do you need to leave immediately, Chris, or?
I got about 10 minutes or so.
Cool, Graham. What I'll do is I'll go to you first. I'll just set the scene. So the idea for this particular topic, it's all about like the community spirit, kind of positive stories and tales from the 6 scale community. I am of the belief that this community is overwhelmingly positive, the vast majority. But like any community, sometimes, the squeaky door gets the grease and all that kind of stuff. There's always people just, if it bleeds, it leads and all that. But I want to focus on like positive stories that you've heard or been involved in from the 1/6 scale community before I address this. Sorry, there was people here from overseas, Ryan, and I was making sure that they understand what I was saying. So I use soccer as opposed to football. They get confused, right? Sorry for the Americans there, right?
All you gotta say is American football, and you're good.
That's right.
Okay.
We referring to something else.
Okay. So freedom football. So I was on a website, I think Saturday or something, called adverts.ie. I've got some really, really good deals on there for really, really nice figures like the T800 Terminator, the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan, from really, really competitive deals. It's basically a buy-sell trade group or site app. There's no fees. It's like eBay with no fees. It's great. And I came across this. It was the Deluxe Special Edition Mech Test Tony, the one with dummy and the Mark II faceplate, and the little Tony Stark has a heart, little tiny little the thing that Pepper Potts gifted him. It's the 2.0 version. I don't have it. I haven't pre-ordered it. It was on my wish list for the longest time, and I was like, came across it, and the guy was looking for €220 for it, which is basically like $230. He got it from Sideshow. To get anything from Sideshow to Ireland, it's like $40-50 shipping right there, and then there's like a 30% import charge. So that was a bargain. That's like $220. The thing is on Sideshow for like $350 or something like that. And I was interested, so I messaged him, and I was like, with a bunch of questions that I would normally ask. Does it come in an art box? Does it come with a shipper? Is there anything broken? Is there anything missing? Is there anything I need to know? Like, was it displayed, in a smoking house or whatever? A bunch of things that I just want to know. And the guy goes, look, how about this? Like, he goes, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's literally brand new. How about I ship it to you? I'll pay for shipping. Open it up, inspect it, take a look at it. If you're happy, you PayPal me the money, and we'll forget about the shipping. If you're not, you pay for the shipping back. And I was like, dude, that's like extreme. Now, he hasn't, like, that was on Saturday, so like, even if he shipped it today, it wouldn't be here till later on in the week. Like, so I haven't, got it yet or anything, like, but just the notion that he was willing to do that is awesome. Because, he doesn't know me. I could be anyone. I could, like, he didn't mention that he follows the channel or anything like that. I could just be like, I'm going to ship it to my friend's house or something like that, or, do a shady one, which I would never do. But I just thought that was really interesting, and I was like, that's awesome. So if that actually happens, it's like, and it's in good shape, if it's as he describes it, brand new, I have to get that 100%. Like, how wouldn't you, like, But it thought me, like, I started thinking, it's not the first time in the 6 scale community where I've seen these amazing random acts of kindness and people helping each other out and stuff like that. So I want to ask the panel, and I want to ask the people in the chat, do you have any, like, does that ring a bell? Can you remember something that someone helped you out get something, or maybe someone got helped out with something? Or, like, I'll go to you first, Chris. Sorry putting on the spot, like, but is there any stories that that kind of reminds you of from the community?
Well, I mean, we've had part of the 6 scale scavengers community. We've had quite a few, members, scavengers, really help out other collectors. And one of the nicest and kindest members of our community, he goes by Gare Bear. He has, like, hooked up collectors and given them just amazing deals, and really, people, he goes through changes in his collection and he'll put stuff out there, and he's not trying to jack up prices or anything. He's under the going rate, even like giving like just really just amazing deals to help collectors out. And we've honored him in the past. We have basically a yearly award, like a giving thanks award that we give out every year, and it's the Gayer Bear Award, just because of his generosity. It's you just hope that rubs off on people. It's just sometimes these days it's tough for some people to just be willing to not get everything they can for an item. Obviously, we got to make some of our money back, but I can't say one specific situation, but over the years he's had, he's given to collectors, and we've given back in honor of him. So
that's awesome. I love that. So he's kind of like hooking people up with good deals and stuff like that, and he's just a very active member in the community.
Yes,
and
very active and very positive. And we just anytime he's chiming in, it's usually Joker related, or he's changing his focus and
be spoiled for choice these days.
I know.
You get a Joker and you get
Exactly.
a Joker. Yeah.
I know.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool, man. So anyone else want to chime in there? Anything like that you can just think of, or anything? Like I said, take in any direction you want.
I remember, I think it was on one of Lael's streams. I can't remember the person.
I know what you're going to say, and I love this. Yeah.
Ben, the attention-seeking geek.
Yeah.
With the Miles Morales. That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course,
do you know that story, Chris? Mario, you know that story, don't you?
Yeah, I think I was around.
Yeah. So like on the Sunday show that Lael does, there was a bunch of us on it, and Ben, the attention-seeking geek, was there, and he said he really wanted the Miles, but he wasn't in a position to get it at the moment. I'm pretty sure was it William Owens, or no, it wasn't William Owens. It was. I'm drawing a blank here. But this guy just I think he dropped like a $200 and something super chat.
$300.
Pardon?
Yeah, it was like 300. Yeah.
And he just goes like, Lael, can you just give this to Ben and tell him to get the Miles Morales? Like, Ben had to take a moment, he looked like I think he was like pretty much really started crying. Like, that was awesome. And it happened. That's
amazing.
Lael sent it on, and he got it, and he reviewed it, and he shouted him out, and it was that was pretty awesome. Like, that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Love hearing about that stuff.
100%.
I want to mention, obviously, you guys as content creators. Shane, you've done one giveaway. You're about to do another, hopefully soon, with the 3K. Lael, I watch Figure Flex Friday. I take part in Figure Flex Friday. I've won a prize on there. I mean, it's costing me nothing apart from a photograph, just a post. And I think his next prize is a Mace Windu.
Nice.
Don't get me wrong, some of these prizes are probably gifted to them, but not all of them. Some of them are coming out of your guys' pockets or another channel member's pockets, so on and so forth. So I think, you're not going to get a much bigger act of kindness than you guys doing these giveaways. I mean, if I generally want to win a Hot Toys figure, I've got to pay for a raffle or pay for something to enter. But you guys are giving these things away, and Ian, Agent Silver Fox, obviously.
Yeah, no, that I'd appreciate. To be fair though, like, it's like, even that the giveaway that I did was for the members. Like, it was like, because they're very supportive, not just like that they pay X amount a month or something like that, but also that every time I go live, there's always like half of them in here. It's awesome. Like, I'm just like keeping the chat going, asking questions, answering questions. So it was nice to kind of give something back to the members and stuff like that, or going the extra mile. But hopefully we do hit the 3,000 and give away that other one. So what about yourself, Mario? You've been in the game a long time now. You've seen it all.
Yeah, man, I've seen all kinds of different acts of kindness, and it's just another testament to the generosity of the community, in which we're all a part of, man. It's absolutely amazing. And a lot of times I'm at a loss for words as well. I mean, I put out, it wasn't 6-scale related, but there was something that I was really excited for and that I wanted to try to look for myself. So I asked for some help out in the chat one time, and we got a few responses saying, "Yeah, Mario, I've seen this around. I'll try to we'll look out for you." Blah blah blah. And just that gesture alone, just trying to look for something, that I can't find in my area is great enough. But someone reached out and says, "Hey, I actually have a second set. Just give me your address. I'll send it to you." Like, no, don't. And I'm like, please don't. It's like, nah, I insist, man. I really appreciate what you guys do, for our community. Just your shows and all like that. Your insights. I'm like, that's great, but just at least let me put in something. Say, no, I got you. And yeah, you're just completely beside yourself, when something like that happens, And
yeah,
that amongst a couple of other things as well. It's just absolutely crazy what goes on. And I mean, we all do this for the fun of it, man. But then when it's great to hear, I mean, not just like what you just said too, as far as how we can give back to the community as well. I mean, we love to do that when we can. But also hearing when someone reaches out and saying that, what your discussions really helped me through my day. I've been having a bad day, but
yeah, man,
just hanging out with you guys is just a great escape and blah blah blah. And to hear that, man, is like, wow. Just to get those kind of messages, it's really it's a trip.
Yeah, it means a lot.
It kind of put things in a different perspective. And you just don't want to, it just encourages you just to keep going. It encourages me to keep going. Just to hear stuff like that, because there have been many times where I'm like, I don't want to do nothing tonight, blah blah blah. But the fact that we can just be around and just be there for someone it's amazing.
Absolutely, because it's. I think I've heard this narrative so much that people talk about the different things they're into and stuff like that, and I know I have a lot of hobbies outside of collecting, and for every one of those hobbies, I have certain friends who are into that. Maybe certain friends who are into running, or certain friends who are into, I don't know, mountain biking or whatever. None of my friends are into collecting though. It's such a unique thing that it's it's connecting online with other collectors. I always think that's pretty cool. I have one or two little images there related to this. So this is just the DX19, but the cape on it is a Jackson Shoe custom drape. And this was kind of like what you're saying, Mario. This is Alan, the 6-scale gallery. He usually joins us here on Monday night. He's a fiend for getting custom head sculpts and custom capes, and he loves the Dark Knight, and he knows that I love the DX19. And the stock cape is not bad, but he had the OT Customs one and the Jackson Shoe, and he went with the OT Custom, and he goes, "Hey man, you want this Jackson Shoe cape?" And he just shipped it to me. Didn't take any money off him. And he's like, didn't take it, fine, no problem.
Yeah.
And then a few months after that, Ian H and Silver Fox knows that my plan is to put together, basically we can call it custom or whatever, you can call it kit bash, a proper Batman Begins figure. So the plan is to get the 2.0 Batman Begins second batch, which has the matte finish. I have the Jackson Shoe cape on the way. I purchased the OT Customs Batman Begins custom cape, and I saw Dean Knight had this beautiful base. It was just a corner of a building. It was narrow enough that Batman could stand on, but narrow enough that the cape could flow and hang over either side, so you could recreate that brooding stance when he's at the end. He's his first night out. He's after capturing Falcone. And I got that from Dean Knight. Yeah. So I looked for this base, and it was from a Spider-Man 3 figure. I have no interest in the figure, but I wanted the base. And I was looking for this thing, and I was finding it was expensive and it was hard to find. Ian hits me up and goes, "You still looking for that base?" And I was like, "Yeah." Bang, sends it to me. You know what I mean? So 50% of what you see on the screen is not from the original DX19. The base, Ian just sourced for me and sent it over. The cape is sent from Alan, the 6-scale gallery, and then it's just the DX19. So hopefully in the future there'll be a Batman Begins, whatever kit bash custom standing on that. I'm really looking forward to it. I know you're a big fan. That's your favorite Batsuit, isn't it, Mario?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. there's a lot of positive stories, definitely. That's a great one as well that Phil said. What about yourself, Bran? Sorry, go on.
I'm sorry, man. This is the figure that toppled over, was it?
No,
shelf dive.
The ironic thing about all of that, what you're looking at now is the 1/6 scale DX19, and I had that up there for a few weeks. It didn't budge. Got it posed, dialed into flat feet, and it stood there overlooking the collection. The one that fell was the quarter scale, which I was using a stand for because the two quarter scales are just too big. I like to use the stand for them, and that's the ironic. That's just nuts. But look, I've reposed it in a much better pose, and it's a lot more sturdier, so it's back up there. So it's one way or another, he's standing up there overlooking the collection. But Brandon, I don't think I've gone to you yet. Do you have any? You said backstage we were chatting, and you've kind of you did a brainstorm, and you've got some examples.
Yeah. What everyone said on the panel, like, it was great. I mean, like, essentially, like, the community is very special. I mean, just meeting people that I never thought I'd get to meet through this. Like once I really got into taking photos and throwing them on Instagram, I got to meet a lot of cool, creative people and just bounce ideas off of. Like, I talk with Alan all the time. He's a great friend. I've talked with Phil a little bit. He does excellent portrait work as well. Yeah, just getting to meet people and bounce ideas off of each other to inspire each other to do better things, better than you've done before. In terms, if you're creating content, it's a great like motivational thing within this community. That's one thing. Also, there's one account I follow on Instagram, Boston Collectors. That they have a YouTube too. It's a husband and wife duo, I want to say. Where they both work at giving us great stuff, but like whenever they drop their stories on Instagram, I'm always looking at what they're showing us, because they're like the first to drop like when things are going up for pre-order, when things have been announced, those like sideshow events that happen where you could sign up and get like $5 credit. Like, they're always on top of that, and I really appreciate that, because like, I mean, someone's taking their time out of their day to help us and further us into what we love. So that was just a really cool thing that they do. So you should follow Boston Collectors. They're great. Yeah, I
do. They're awesome.
Same.
It's a Jonathan, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
He got some really high quality stuff there as well. Like, just the way he produces his content, its production values they're right up there, man. So. Yep. Folks, I think we're kind of going to call it there. I just want to say a massive thank you to the panel. I want to say a massive thank you to anyone who has taken time out of their day to watch this, or if you're watching it on the replay. If you like the content, maybe you consider liking and subscribing. And again, if you want to become a channel member, all that details there on the memberships tab on the YouTube channel. And there's a comment, a link posted to pin to the chat there. So does anyone on the panel want to plug something or anything before we call the day? Call it a night?
I'll just say 6 Scale Scavengers should be going live one night this week, maybe Wednesday, usually around 9 Eastern time. But yeah, so we'll have probably cover some of the similar stories and some other stuff as well. So check it out.
Excellent stuff. I look forward to that.
Thanks for having me. It's nice meeting everybody. Yeah.
Anytime. It's great that you could join us as well. Anyone else want something to plug, or
yeah, man,
things coming up?
Thanks for having me on tonight. We appreciate hanging out. Good
Always.
to see Chris and Brian for a minute, man. That was
great panel.
That's actually cool, man. Looking forward to streaming with you guys again sometime.
Totally.
But yeah, Profi Chat tonight, 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern, man, or 6:15 rather. Excuse me, 9:15. Similar discussion, amongst other things. Just myself, P Rock, Miguel, Toy Quest 101, along with Joao. So the four of us just hanging out. Little branch off of LWO a little bit. We have our own shenanigans. That's always a fun time. Uncivilized Scoundrels Thursday night. I believe we might be on Laels. I'm not sure what we're gonna do yet, but still going through Ahsoka, so that's always gonna be fun. Friday night LWO on my channel, dude. Episode 50, so that's gonna be another fun one. Cool. So yeah, we'll see how long we go with that one as well. Not promising 24-hour stream like I mentioned before. We'll see what happens, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Good stuff. All right. So Brandon, if you want to plug your Instagram or anything?
Yeah, at the 6 Scale Salad on Instagram. Yeah. I'm working on a Andrew Spider-Man figure photo right now, so hopefully things turn out. It's funny, I actually had to reshoot it because I'm so particular with what I want, and it's probably unhealthy, but I mean the more I keep working at it, the more like, you know, you kind of craft your style. It's, you know, it's very rewarding in the end. So I think I've gotten to a good spot with it. So hopefully I could get that posted within the next few days. I'm gonna make a reel too about it, like a behind the scenes, and yeah, that's basically it.
I actually love those reels. Yeah, you're putting in the 10,000 hours, man. That's what it is.
It's tough. Making those subtitles sucks, but they're worth it.
Yeah, tedious. Like, and Phil.
No, I mean, definitely check out Brandon's BTS on Instagram. They're phenomenal. Or for anybody who's trying to get into photography, and check myself out at The Empire Strikes.
Excellent stuff, folks. Thanks very much, and that's us. We'll see you next week.